Hey guys, Dwayne Estes here, coming at you for the third time today. I am here again at Ravenwood Park, just a couple miles, maybe 3 or 4 miles east of downtown Nashville. The sun is setting behind me, and as I was about to leave the park and head back, I could see a glorious scene, and I knew I had to do one more post. You see, I'm standing in what is essentially a functionally extinct ecosystem. You know, we hear about extinct species all the time, but we don't really stop to think about ecosystems as having vanished almost completely. That's exactly what I'm about to show you. Now behind me, you'll see there's some large trees down, and that's because the tornadoes that came through Nashville tore down some of these magnificent beauties. But you can see the relics of one of these old giant trees right there. Really all for that one is just the skeleton that remains. But it takes a special eye and a certain amount of training to be able to understand that we're looking at something that's completely special. Now right now I want you to tell you, I'm setting the scene. I'm walking through meadows of brome grass and tall fescue. Now keep in mind, I'm 3 or 4 miles from downtown, right? Let's set it one more time. Look behind me. You see the setting sun? Downtown Nashville is just over those hills, right out of view. I'm here in an urban setting, and you would just think you're in the middle of nowhere. Take a look. Farmland for as far as the eye could see. This is Ravenwood Park. 900 acres. The Nashville airport is about 2 miles that way. Andrew Jackson's home, the Hermitage, is just a mile or so that way. And all around us are subdivisions. But right here is something special. Right here is something that we need Nashvillians and people here in Tennessee to begin to think about and get excited about. We're about to walk we're going to walk out of this hayfield pasture, and we're going to walk into an extinct Bur Oak, chinkapin oak savanna. This is the nearest thing that's left to what our first settlers who came here from Virginia and North Carolina, the white settlers, would have seen, and what the Native Americans who called this area home, or who called this area their hunting lands in the late 1700s. This is the way the land probably would have been most like what we're about to see. So as we go into this, you've got these magnificent Bur Oaks. Now we don't even think about Bur Oak as being something that we really have in Tennessee, but yet here it is. Again, I mentioned the Nashville airport is close by. We got planes constantly flying right overhead. And this particular Bur Oak is about 4 feet in diameter. Right here, check it out. It's gorgeous. But in there are other very large oak trees. And to most people, this would look like a thicket. But as you walk into that, you begin to see that the European grasses that are so abundant right here that I'm walking through, they give way to those rye grasses that my previous post talked about. In fact, I'm at that transition now. Look behind me. Now let's look in front of me. The grasses change, and now I'm confronted with 3 species of ryegrass: Elymus macgregorii, Elymus villosus, and Elymus virginicus. I'm also now beginning to see the wildflowers show up. Species like the limestone wild petunia. Right here, look at this beauty. How about that? Can we get a few hearts for the limestone wild petunia? Come on, folks. Let's give a few hearts for that. Yeah, this is Ruellia strepens. We've got even native thistles in this habitat. Now, a lot of people don't think about thistles as being all that great. This one's got white leaf undersides. It's called the old field thistle, but did you know that thistles are great for pollinators? Now, I'm not talking about those nodding thistles that are, very noxious. And guess what? We also have in here things that certain birds that are ground nesters really have to have. And this is why our friends at Quail Forever are really concerned about the loss of shrubs in grassland and woodland systems. And here we've got a shrub that is often overlooked. This is called coralberry, Symphorocarpus orbiculatus. Now, as I mentioned, the tornado that came through Nashville in early March did some real damage. In fact, we've got tornado debris right here. You can see parts of metal sheeting here. Basically, it came right over that ridge behind me and sliced right through this park and did some major damage. We're going to continue to walk right on up in here. I hope you guys will stay with me for just a second. Again, most people would look at this and say, man, you're crazy. That's just a brushy old field. There's nothing special in there. There's no doubt there's a few European grasses still in here, but we definitely are seeing a lot more of our native wildflowers and native shrubs. And we've actually even found a plant in here, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get there to show it to you because time is getting slim and I got to get out of here. But there's a plant in here that the best botanist in the land cannot put a name on. And we believe that there's a good chance that this actually might be a relic that's been hiding out in this habitat for a long time. Take a look here. We got a couple more neat plants. Here's that riverbank wild rye. And how about this one? Cherokee Sedge, Carex cherokeensis. There's a nice mat of that right here. So I'm going to show you this plant if I can find it. It's all up in here. And if anybody knows what it is, that would be great. But here we are. There's a few glady outcrops in here with limestone. Yeah, here's that plant. So I don't know if Alan Weekly's looking. I know we got some incredible botanists who chime in from time to time. But here's the plant. Get the grass out of it. Right there. It's seemingly nondescript plant. I can't put a name on it. Our chief ecologist, Theo Witzel, one of the best botanists in the South, he can't put a name on it. I think Alan Weekly has looked at this. Everybody knows Alan. He can't put a name on it. And currently we know this from two places in the world. Right here in this remnant oak savanna in Nashville, and in another remnant oak woodland on the west side of Nashville near the community of Bellevue. So that's over and out for now, guys, but I'm gonna just pan around, and I'm not even in the best section of it. But all behind me, up in these woods, those big trees, those are Bur Oaks and chinkpin oaks with 3 and 4 and 5 foot diameter trunks. And what we're looking at here is probably one of the most special scenes in all of the Mid-South. And almost no one knows about it. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in to Southeastern Grasslands Initiative. We're going to keep working hard to save our forgotten southern ecosystems. Thank you.